Southeast Asia, one of the digital nomad hotspots around the world. But there are a lot of different countries in Southeast Asia, and in this video I'm going to talk about which ones are the most crypto-friendly ones. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hello, my name is Tristan, the Yonderpreneur. I am on a mission of self-sovereignty. What does that mean? I am looking to find geographic and financial freedom. And one way to find this financial and geographic freedom is through cryptocurrencies. And when you go through cryptocurrencies, you want to make sure that you are going to countries that are crypto friendly, that are building towards crypto and not away from it. And also, none of what you see in this video is financial advice or tax advice. So we will go through every country in Southeast Asia on this video, and we will start with the country or the kingdom of Brunei. Brunei is a small country on the island of Borneo. It is mostly an oil-based economy, and it is not quite the digital nomad hotspot. It might actually be your first time hearing about this country. Not super common. And it's very difficult to get long-term visas on the island, so it's more of a tourist destination if anything. Brunei doesn't have an income tax or a capital gains tax, so essentially you're tax-free for regular income and one would assume crypto income as well. Brunei has never made any regulations or rules regarding crypto. It really hasn't mentioned it at all. It's not out there being difficult to crypto, but it's not being good either, which is actually the second best scenario. It's not exactly a party country or not really even a very interesting country. I've heard it's actually quite boring. For expats there, there's not too much to do. However, if you do love wildlife, apparently there's really nice hikes and that has really interesting biodiversity. I think including orangutans living on the island. Fact check me on that one though. But if you could finesse a long-term visa to live in Brunei, it could potentially be a really good spot to make some money. Next country on the list is Cambodia. Cambodia is down at the bottom of Southeast Asia and it is one of the fastest growing economies in the world at the moment. Cambodia does have a dark history. It was in an awful state for many years, but the future has started to look very bright for the country. While the other countries were growing around it, like Thailand and Malaysia, Cambodia didn't have that growth just because of the Khmer Rouge, which was this communist party in Cambodia, did terrible acts to its own citizens. Now that that has passed it, though, and is in its history, Cambodia is, like I said earlier, growing really fast and is now receiving the benefits of all the other tourism-related sectors that are in Southeast Asia. I've heard that it's kind of like a cheaper version of Thailand, like a Thailand before Thailand was Thailand. Cambodia isn't exactly a digital nomad hotspot like its neighbor Vietnam and its neighbor Thailand, but it does have a growing expat community, and it is the only country in Southeast Asia that you can also get citizenship in. It does have a citizenship by investment program. Cambodia isn't exactly on top of things when it comes to crypto. It still hasn't made any regulations or any rules regarding cryptocurrencies. Banks, however, are not permitted to use it, although as individual citizens can use it, and it can even be used legally in peer-to-peer transactions for in-person goods. At the moment, the Cambodian government has no ways to keep track of its citizens' transactions in cryptocurrencies, so a lot of people just aren't paying their taxes. That is illegal, so don't do that, but it's better to do things by the book. If you have crypto gains and you are a resident or citizen of Cambodia, what you're supposed to do is pay an 18 to 32% capital gains tax on your gains to stay within the law. But 18 to 32 depends on how much you made. So with that in mind, Cambodia is medium tier for cryptocurrency friendliness. It's not great, but it's not bad. So medium. Next on the list is Timor Leste, or better known as East Timor. Timor Leste isn't one of those countries that you think of when you think of Southeast Asia, but it is indeed part of Southeast Asia. It's just at the bottom of Indonesia and north of Australia. Timor Leste started off as a Portuguese colony during the 70s, but then it gained independence. It was independent for a short period of time till it was invaded by Indonesia and taken over, gained its own citizenship back in 2002, and it is now once again an independent country. It's not exactly a digital nomad hotspot, but it is said to have really nice people and amazing wildlife. East Timor, or Timor Leste, hasn't really put any regulations or rules or anything for crypto, similar to Cambodia, but Timor Leste does have a 10% income tax, and that's it. Therefore, on your crypto gains, you would pay 10%. Which is not bad. So it lands Timor Leste in a crypto-friendly country. The next country on the list is perhaps the largest digital nomad hotspot in the world, or at least one of the largest. It was definitely one of the first. Anyways, it is also the fourth largest country in terms of population. The next country is Indonesia. When you think digital nomads and you think Indonesia, you don't really think, why would there be a whole bunch of digital nomads in Indonesia? No one really goes there. Well, that's because Bali, the infamous Bali, is part of Indonesia. Bali has tons and tons of entrepreneurs, digital nomads, and influencers that call it home. So it's not really people living in Jakarta, the country's capital. It's all these digital nomads in Bali that make it so attractive. So what is the state of crypto in Indonesia? Well, also a little bit like Cambodia, the Indonesian government doesn't have much of an ability to track it, but they have made some regulations regarding it. So it is classified as a commodity, which is a little bit better than being classified as a security, but it comes with its own rules. Indonesia is looking to be a crypto-friendly country. The government has made some positive references towards crypto, and they are actively building towards making Indonesia a better home for crypto companies. Regarding taxes, there is a capital gains tax on your crypto in Indonesia, and it is a whopping 0.01%. So basically nothing. They do have a value added tax though. So when you sell your crypto to fiat, they charge an 11% value added tax. So that one's actually kind of heavy. So, but it's not too bad in a grand scheme of things. Where you look at other countries like in Europe, where they charge up to 40 to 50%, 11% is not bad. So all in all, Indonesia's pretty good for crypto investors. So crypto on, Bali bros. Next country on the list for crypto countries in Southeast Asia is Laos. Laos is a country landlocked and sandwiched between Thailand and Vietnam. It is quite definitely still a developing country. Laos is also one of the only countries in the world that still has a communist government. So it's not exactly super business friendly. It is also neither a digital nomad hotspot. However, tourists still go through Laos as they're doing trips through Southeast Asia. Laos also isn't exactly very friendly for cryptocurrency either. The government has done a flat-out ban on cryptocurrencies, although I don't really think they have the means to really control that. But still not the greatest environment for crypto. Number 6 on the list is Malaysia. So it might be number 6 on my list here, but that's because I'm doing it alphabetically. If I was to rank it by performance, Malaysia would probably be the number 1 crypto-friendly country in Southeast Asia. Home to the beautiful Petronas Towers and its capital city, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia has a population of about 34 million people, so a little bit smaller than all of Canada. Although not as popular as Thailand for digital nomads and expats, Malaysia does have a significant expat community and it is growing very fast. When it comes to crypto in Malaysia, crypto is tax-free. Malaysia is actually a territorial tax country, similar to a lot of countries in Latin America like Costa Rica, Panama, Guatemala, Nicaragua. If you want to know about crypto taxes in Latin America, I will link my video here and down in the description below. But like I said, territorial tax country, Malaysia. That means the income that you bring in from outside the country is taxed at 0%. There is also no capital gains tax or dividend taxes in Malaysia, so you can receive your stock gains and dividends also tax-free if you live in Malaysia. This tax setup potentially makes Malaysia the best country for crypto in all of Southeast Asia. Number 7 on the list is Myanmar, or if you're older than 30, Burma. Myanmar is quite the contrast to the previous country, Malaysia. Malaysia being pretty successful as a country, where Myanmar has been in civil war since 2021, and it is still ongoing to this day. More bombs have actually been dropped in Myanmar per capita than there has been in Ukraine. Things are not great there right now, and obviously they have more important things on their mind than magic internet money like crypto, so they haven't done anything regarding that. Nothing going on there yet, and I hope for a peaceful resolution to the conflict soon. Number 8 on the list is the Philippines. The Philippines is a popular digital nomad hotspot for its friendly people, English-speaking people, and it is also very tropical, very nice, very warm. So it has made its solid reputation for digital nomads. Some economists also predict that the Philippines might actually eclipse Japan in economic output sometime in the future, so it might not be a bad place to do some investments as well. But how does the Philippines treat crypto? Well, pretty good. The Philippines actually has a really high adoption rate of crypto. So a lot of the population has owned or bought crypto at some point in their time. This high adoption rate was really popularized by the game crypto game Axie Infinity, where it sprung up a whole digital economy based on this game where you played to earn crypto. Axie Infinity has now been in decline for a while, and it's nowhere near as popular as it once was, but the impact that it made on the Philippines is still there today. Play to earn crypto games are still quite popular in the country. The central government of the Philippines has made some regulations towards crypto. They have classified it as a capital gain, so you do have to pay capital gains taxes on your gains in crypto, and that is at a maximum rate of 15%. So it's not too bad. It's not too high, not too low. It also right in the middle. Number 9 on my list is the always impressive Singapore. Singapore is always receiving praise in my videos, and in this one it will receive some more. Singapore is a very friendly country for crypto investors. Singapore is a small city-state country that borders Malaysia. It was a bit of a rough place to live in when it first gained independence, but after years of really solid leadership, Singapore has become one of the most prosperous countries in the entire world. Singapore creates a very friendly environment for entrepreneurs that are working in the crypto space, and the taxes in the country also reflect that as well. There is no capital gains tax on crypto in Singapore, so as long as you're not an active trader, so someone who trades multiple times per day, as long as you're holding for a relatively long period of time, you will go tax-free on your crypto gains in Singapore. So in terms of tax structures, Malaysia and Singapore are almost identical. They're very similar, both very favorable. The only reason I would put Malaysia as a more favorable country for crypto entrepreneurs and digital nomads is because that the cost of living in Malaysia is really low. Where Malaysia is one of the cheapest countries to live in the world, Singapore is the third most expensive country to live in the world. So unless you need venture capital funding or something like that, you're better off just living in Malaysia. Number 10 on the list is Thailand, the go-to place in Southeast Asia. When you say you're going to Southeast Asia, people think you're going to Thailand, the land of smiles. I would have to look at the data, but I would say that it must be tied between Thailand and Bali for the most popular digital nomad hotspots in Southeast Asia. People all over the world come to Thailand to enjoy its beautiful beaches, its delicious food, and its busy nightlife. So being so popular, you might wonder, well, it must have some sort of tax advantages that make it attractive as well. And if you thought that, you're correct. Previously, Thailand had a similar tax system to Malaysia, where if you made money from outside of Thailand, then you brought it back into Thailand, then it would not be taxed. So anything made abroad was fine. You were just taxed on your income that you made in Thailand. Unfortunately, there is a law in the works in the Thailand government that it will change the country to a worldwide taxation system. So it doesn't matter where you make your money, you'll have to be taxed on it, just like European countries, Canada, United States, etc. But the good news, though, is that yes, that they are putting this tax in place potentially Fingers crossed they throw it out for some reason. But if this tax does go in place, they said there would only be a 15% capital gains tax on crypto. So it's pretty average with some of the other medium to good crypto countries in Southeast Asia. Last on the list, but not least, is Vietnam. Vietnam is also one of the few countries in the world that still has a communist government. However, Vietnamese communism looks a little bit different than Laotian communism. It looks a little bit more like Chinese communism, where it's like we might as well get rich and be communist at the same time. Vietnam also has a rapidly growing economy like Cambodia. Vietnam has a population of 100 million people, so it's definitely a large population, and it's becoming the largest manufacturing hub in the region. Vietnam, unlike Cambodia and Laos, is really popular with digital nomads, which is really ironic due to the whole communist thing. But it hasn't stopped the digital nomads from going to Vietnam. Vietnam also has one of the largest crypto adoption rates in the world. 17% of the Vietnamese population has used cryptocurrencies at some point. This is due to issues in the traditional banking sector regarding inflation and fraudulent activity. Crypto has become super popular in the country. Vietnam hasn't made too many regulations or rules regarding crypto. Banks and financial institutions are barred from owning it, so they can't be part of the crypto ecosystem. However, individuals are free to do as they please. There's also no taxes on crypto at the individual level yet, so this might change in the future, but Vietnam is in a gray area of tax-free crypto. So Vietnam's crypto knowledgeable population, its low cost of living, and its fairly decent weather if you like hot and humid, make it a very attractive destination for crypto nomads. The only reason I would put Malaysia higher than Vietnam on my list of best countries in Southeast Asia for crypto is because Malaysia is a little bit more solid, whereas Vietnam kind of exists in this strange gray area of, well, it's tax-free because we haven't done anything yet, where I could definitely see a communist government doing something in the future regarding that. So there you have it. Every country in Southeast Asia ranked on their crypto friendliness. If you think I have made a mistake in my research at some place, put it in the comments below so we can correct that. But I think we're pretty solid. In the comments below also, let me know which country you think is the best to live in, just in terms of happiness. It's not something that I looked directly at in this video, so I might do another one on that specifically in the future. Anyways, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.